change, people's mindsets change, and people's opportunities change. And so with that, as you're getting more exposed and you're seeing different developments within the society, you're going to start seeing different mindsets. And especially with the idea of social media and getting in contact with people, you're going to start seeing more ideas being expressed out socially. Because back in the day, it could have taken weeks or months just to hear information. And now you can hear it at the snap of your fingers. So it's just always important to be able to just understand that over time, it's just you got to be able to understand that as technology is changing and word spreading out faster, that's going to cause that's becoming, yeah, sure. It's always important for millennials to get a vote because as we're starting to see a lot of the millennials start to reach the age of an adult and become legal, it eventually comes to the point where as you're getting over time as you're educating, it's time to come vote. And it's always important because you could typically go right into the idea of, oh, I could trust the older generation because they've raised me and they're able to, and their values were set and it seems like my country's going the right way. But as over time, values of then are what we eventually meant to understand and follow by. And it can always change, and what we believe now is always going to change. It's always going to be different from what our families from back in the day would always believe in. And so it's just always important to get out there because we could just accept the normal standard or we could get out there and make it our own form. Because we are, especially as a millennial era, we're going to become more independent and we want to be able to...
Are you in college right now?
Yeah, I'm going to be a freshman at St. Joseph's University here in Philadelphia.
And what are you going to major in?
I'm going to be a communications major, and I'm also playing a minor in journalism while I'm at St. Joe's. That's my initial plans for right now. Hopefully I'll be able to double major along with political science.
Beautiful. What do you think differentiates you from youths who support Donald Trump?
I guess it's just the way that major thing is you got to be able to be, it's all about being inclusive. With a person like Donald Trump, he's always about secluding, and especially with the major plan of him building this wall, that's dividing and just separating us from not only what the young millennial generation believes in, but what was eventually founded upon in order for us to be here. We're not supposed to here to divide, but to open opportunities, not only for us within the country, but those that want to be able to be like us. Because again, he says we want to make America great, but we're already great. But we want to express our greatness out to those who feel important. Our country is valuable enough to live in and be there.
Some of the things that Bernie Sanders says are similar to what Donald Trump says. What's the difference between the two of them?
The difference between the two of them is that Donald Trump's, as a person working within the business field, he knows how to work that mindset of taking advantage of people's minds and being able to benefit on his own. However, Bernie's been a servant and he's been working for years. He's been working with people. He's out there on the fields actually getting active and being willing to interact with people by any means.
Thank you very much. How did you get to be a political attendee?
How
did you get to be a political attendee?
Well, first, I'm here with the Junior State of America, and the whole point and our whole focus for this week is to study the Democratic National Convention. Regardless of whether we get into the convention or not, the whole point is just study the convention and be able to just educate ourselves about the party and our eventual nominee, Hillary Clinton.
Do you believe that youths are actually voting from an objective perspective or emotionally?
I believe that it takes emotion for right now because you got to be able to, that's the one thing that's going to motivate you now, and then eventually over time that's going to motivate people to study on and be able to educate themselves to be able to get to that objective level, because that's how we are as humans first. We respond to things emotionally, and then eventually it gets to that point where we drive ourselves to learn more about it and then become objective.
Do you think as a black person your life matter?
My black life does matter.
In what ways?
It means that just as much as any of my colleagues, white, Asian American, any other race, can achieve anything possible, I can also achieve as much as I can. And no matter, and anything's possible as long as I'm willing to put that effort into it myself.
Thank you very much.